This is a story of hidden legacies and timeless love rediscovered aboard the Titanic II. Join Rose as she unveils secrets that bridge the past and present. The North Atlantic's icy waters hold secrets and stories. Among them is the legend of the Titanic, which sank on a fateful night in 1912. The tragedy has faded into history, but for Rose DeWitt Bukater, now an elderly woman, the memories are as vivid as ever. As she looks out over the ocean from the deck of a modern cruise ship, the Titanic II, she's overcome with emotion. The ship is a grand tribute to the original, built to retrace the ill-fated voyage with descendants and history enthusiasts aboard, including her own granddaughter, Liz. Rose's thoughts are interrupted by a young man who introduces himself as Jack Thorne. He shares a name and a striking resemblance with her lost love, Jack Dawson. This Jack reveals that he is, in fact, the great-grandson of Rose's Jack, born from a relationship Jack had before boarding the Titanic. After his great-grandfather's death, his family kept the connection secret due to the scandal and heartache it caused. The revelation hits Rose like a wave. The thought that a part of Jack survived, thrived even, brings a mix of joy and sorrow. Jack Thorne, an artist like his ancestor, has pieces of Jack Dawson's work, sketches of Rose that were never seen, preserved by his family. He presents them to Rose, who touches them tenderly, tears streaming down her face. As the ship continues its journey, Rose tells Jack Thorne stories of the original voyage of her love and of the dreams she and Jack Dawson once shared. Jack Thorne listens, enraptured, feeling a connection to the great-grandfather he never knew, yet whose legacy has profoundly shaped his life. Together, they decide to hold an exhibition of Jack Dawson's art on the ship, sharing this newly discovered part of him with the world. As they prepare, Rose feels a sense of closure, of peace. That part of Jack's spirit lives on, not just in stories but in the tangible strokes of his art. As the sun sets on the first evening of the voyage, Rose stands by the railing, Jack's sketches clutched to her chest. The ocean seems endless, but for the first time in many years, it brings her comfort instead of pain. The ship plows forward, cutting through waves towards the horizon, under the watchful eyes of the past and the hopeful gaze of the future. As the Titanic II glides over the tranquil seas, the exhibition of Jack Dawson's unseen artwork is set to open. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation. Passengers from all walks of life gather, eager to catch a glimpse of the man through his work. The pieces, primarily sketches, reveal a profound depth of emotion and talent. Each one tells a story, capturing moments of life aboard the Titanic that were thought to be lost to the sea. Jack Thorne, feeling both proud and vulnerable, shares stories behind each sketch, narrating what he knows of his great-grandfather's life and inspirations. Rose, standing beside him, adds her own memories, her voice occasionally breaking with emotion. Together, they paint a vivid picture of Jack Dawson, not just as a tragic figure of romance, but as a man of depth and artistry. Among the attendees is a historian, Dr. Helen Murfield, who specializes in Titanic artifacts. She's intrigued by the authenticity and historical significance of the sketches. Dr. Murfield proposes that after the cruise, the collection could tour museums, ensuring Jack Dawson's legacy would be recognized globally. Excited by the prospect, Jack Thorne agrees to consider the offer, looking to Rose for her blessing, which she gives with a tearful smile. As the exhibition draws to a close, a surprise guest arrives, Leonard Carlson, a retired naval officer whose grandfather was a crew member on the Carpathia, the ship that rescued Titanic's survivors. He brings with him old letters and photographs that provide more context to the fateful night, including a photo of a young officer who might have seen Jack in his final moments. This revelation provides a poignant connection between the past and present attendees. That night, under the stars, Rose and Jack Thorne hold a small ceremony by the ship's stern. They toss a wreath into the sea, a tribute not just to Jack Dawson, but to all who perished in the tragedy. Rose speaks about the importance of remembering and learning from the past, her words stirring the hearts of all who listen. The ceremony ends with a violin quartet playing Nearer, My God, to Thee, the same hymn reported to have been played as the Titanic sank. The music fills the air, touching everyone with its solemn beauty. Rose and Jack Thorne stand together, hand in hand, looking out at the vast ocean, feeling the weight and warmth of history around them. As they return to the festivities, Jack Thorne feels a deep connection to his great-grandfather's past, a past that Rose has kept alive through her memories. He realizes how much of his identity is entwined with a story of love and resilience that transcends time. Meanwhile, Rose feels a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that the story of Jack Dawson will continue to inspire long after she is gone. The night is a beautiful blend of closure and renewal, of honoring memories while making new ones. As the Titanic II approaches the coordinates where the original Titanic met its fate, a solemn silence descends upon the ship. This part of the journey, meant to commemorate those lost, also serves as a powerful moment of reflection for everyone aboard. For Rose, standing at the rail, the ocean's vastness holds echoes of the past mingled with whispers of the present. Jack Thorne arranges a special viewing of a short documentary that he has produced during the voyage, featuring Rose's first-hand account of the Titanic's final hours, her survival, and her life afterwards. The film also includes insights from historians, survivors' relatives, and clips of the recovered artifacts, providing a holistic view of the Titanic's legacy. The documentary ends with a focus on Jack Dawson's artwork, emphasizing how his spirit and talent have found a new audience. After the screening, there's a panel discussion where Rose speaks passionately about the importance of remembering the human stories behind historical events. She emphasizes how Jack Dawson's life, though cut tragically short, continues to impact and inspire beyond the tragedy. The discussion opens up with passengers sharing their own stories of overcoming adversity and loss, inspired by Rose's resilience and Jack Dawson's legacy. As the day turns to dusk, the ship's captain announces a moment of silence, followed by the release of lanterns into the sky. Rose, with the help of Jack Thorne, releases a lantern for Jack Dawson. As the lanterns float upward, their light flickering against the twilight sky, the passengers and crew feel a deep connection to the past, a shared moment of tribute and hope. The next morning, as the Titanic II begins its return voyage, Rose takes a moment to express her gratitude to Jack Thorne. She gives him a small framed sketch that Jack Dawson had made of her, which she had kept private until now. Keep this with his other works, she tells him. Let his art tell his story. Overwhelmed, Jack promises to honor both the art and the artist by ensuring that the story of Jack Dawson, and now Rose, lives on. In the final evening aboard, a gala dinner is held to celebrate the journey, the history learned, and the friendships formed. Rose is honored with a standing ovation for her courage, not only in surviving the Titanic, but in living a life that continued to inspire and teach about love, loss, and the human capacity to recover and rejoice again. As Rose returns to her cabin that night, she looks out at the ocean once more, feeling a peace she hadn't known in years. The journey has allowed her to reconnect with her past, honor her lost love, and ensure that the legacy of the Titanic, and especially of Jack Dawson, will continue to teach and inspire future generations. As the ship docks back at its port of origin, Rose disembarks, feeling lighter and more hopeful. Jack Thorne waves goodbye, holding the sketch close, a tangible reminder of the unbreakable connections formed across generations. The story of the Titanic, enriched by the love and art of Jack Dawson and carried forward by Rose and Jack Thorne, remains a poignant testament to the enduring power of human connection and resilience.